And this is a dash that I did some work on for a customer. This is for a 59 Ford F100. And the original instrument cluster is this right here. And these are actually the original style gauges that go in for 59 right here. And I decided after to redo the electrical, and this is what the old panel looks like, and get some fancy looking new gauges. Well, that entailed a whole bunch of work, a whole bunch more than I ever anticipated. So what the deal is these little gauges and these standard size gauges. I guess, I don't know if you want to call them standard, they're not very deep. They fit up underneath there, you know. There's not much cutting involved, so you don't have to do much modifying. And so we got these really nice gauges here. I'm still using the old gas gauge because I don't really know about the ohms of the sending unit in it, so when it's time to go restore that part, then we'll get the new gauge. If these are auto meter, classic something, edition, whatever. And what I had to do is drill out all the holes in this nest, cluster, panel, whatever. I mean, I had to clear a lot out for this instrument, all these instruments to go in here. And so after I drilled all the holes through the whole thing, then I had these gauges that would just, you know, the chrome piece is supposed to fit down here on top of a dash panel, and then you have a plastic piece that holds it up in there. But this is a different case because I'm trying to make it flush, and that meant for me to I had to make a bracket for the front before I go back to the back. This is a cut down brace that's supposed to hold the gauge on. Well, since I have this shorter gauge here, and I couldn't do much about the bolting part back there, I had to work with it. I'm going to use this guy as a light shield. I'm also going to use some foam weather stripping around the back side of the dash, so when these gauges come down, they seal off and there's no bleed over from the turn indicators. Balance in there, buddy. Yeah, they're just button dash lights, you know, indicator lights, and they're pretty bright on each side there. That's what I'm using for the turn indicator lights. And as for the frame, I make all these little bent pieces. I gave the brace I needed to hold the main brace, and then I made the center one. It kind of gives it. I'll flip it up here and show you some detail I put into it. This is a 1.5 by 1.5, or maybe more piece of angle aluminum. And I had to drill holes in it to clear all the connectors. Got gap between the terminals down here, so no, nothing's grounding out. I had the same braces on the back. Has a little bit different shape. This is the end, so it works. All out of aluminum. Put together, drilled it out, did all the good stuff. I used a Scotch-Brite disc on a angle grinder thing for the finish. Yeah, let's look at the wiring. I got the wiring going. The old gauge, fuel gauge, so I didn't have to notch out anything on it except for this side for the wire to roll back up. And then I had to notch out on that one. And it comes back, and there's some light power that jumps across. Put two little notches in on the aluminum there, and on the center brace right there. Make a hole for that one. The speedo wires come up. At first I had all these coming together and it come out on a chunk, and then I grabbed it and I could tell that that's not good for the Speedo. You gotta have a little vibration loop for every instrument so you're not getting a bunch of vibrations on these things. That's what I think. Anyway, it's my first dash to do like this, so. And then I got all my grounds all tied together. So I have one ground. Everything's labeled right now. The LED leads come in. Now I need to show you that. Since they're all the button lights, the dash indicator lights, I just left their little pigtails on, so when you go to replace them, you just get the light and come back in here and plug them up. It's kind of low profile. You can see their little resistor thing in there, or diode, whatever's in that. But yeah, that's custom dash instrument cluster. Yes, and it's using the original style instrument nest right here. I just made the bracket, instrument bracket. Oh yeah, before I go, old school, man, it had a round piece of green plastic right here, so when it was sitting up there with the white light behind it, it would blink green. Well, I'm trying to go with red and yellow in the dash, you know, kind of cool it down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a white piece of plastic behind it, so during the daytime you'll see that arrow as white, you know, like boom. Yeah, that's the way it's going to look. And when it flashes, it'll flash yellow. So that should be good enough. Anyway, thank you. Oh yeah, if you want me to do this for you, get in contact with me. All right, bye.